While I have you, I have to tap into some of your history. A sports guy for a long time, news guy for a long time. You mentioned the Star Spangled Banner that most people don't even realize it was the battle. It was the patriotic cry surrounding the War of 1812. We had idiots in the NFL, my word, not yours, who actually went and played a game in London this season, Brian.
I know. And
they stood for God Save the Queen, and they knelt for the United States Star Spangled Banner. They clearly have no concept whatsoever why the song was written, what the words mean, even the third stanza that doesn't glorify slavery. And they looked even more clueless to me then than they ever had before. What would you say if you had an opportunity to talk to the specific guys, only a few guys that are doing it now, that are still kneeling because they're clearly ignorant of what this song really stands for and what that flag stands for?
First off, a couple of things. We do have a special coming on Fox News. It'll be December 10th. It'll show you the whole battle. I fly a drone. You'll see the whole battlefield.
Oh, great.
Number two is this is a sad day for us, I think, because Eli Manning's going to get benched Sunday, and his streak, the second longest, I think, in NFL history, is stopped of starts.
And by the way, people are celebrating that on racial lines on Twitter. I'm sure you've noticed this, which is very strange to me. Eli Manning, a two-time Super Bowl winner, and him being benched for Geno Smith this weekend.
I did not know that because it was just seconds ago when I heard it. As I came in here, and Manning, with all the class, just said whatever I can do to help this team be successful. So that's a great family. As two white guys talking to each other, I don't want to sound as if I'm an expert on race relations. But I will say this: you and I look at black people, white people, Asian people as equals. We judge them by who they are. 100%. And if people looking at us right now don't think so, meet us, watch us, interact with us. And guess what? We are like most of America. We are not a perfect country, but man, have we made strides. When you kneel for the national anthem, I can't listen to your message, because we should all agree that America is the place that we want to make better. When you take a knee and diss this country, you mess with our foundation. That's what they don't understand. And I also don't like taking on law enforcement. Some of the people I respect most in this world who are now leading the war on terror, sadly, look at the bike path killer, are law enforcement. Are there some that have problems with race relations? Yes. And there's some at Kmart that do, and there's some at Sears that do. That doesn't represent law enforcement. I have a problem with that. But for you to take a knee, it makes me wonder, do you know who we fought for our freedom? And do you know the history between us? I mean, I don't think they do. And what they did is they graduated into this by a guy that's no longer in the league that skidded into a movement. This isn't Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, Jim Brown, Martin Luther King of the 60s, when they told us to use separate water fountains and separate bathrooms and go in separate places in buses. This is 2017. You want to make us better? Great. You want to diss the foundation, embarrass us internationally? We don't like that. And the NFL is paying the price at the ticket booth, at the ratings. 10% means billions of dollars.
Well, it does, and so well said. I just want to add this. When you take the knee before we've had the conversation, then tell me you're taking the knee to have the conversation. You're literally telling me you don't want to have the conversation when you take the knee.
Good point.
You're making $2 million a year on average. Kaepernick was making much more than that when he decided not to re-sign. And now he's complaining he can't be in the league. He could have still been in the league. He opted out. He's wearing a shirt that heralds Fidel Castro. None of it makes any sense. And it really is, you and I having a cup of coffee some morning, just having a conversation about it, we would actually look at each other and say, well, hey, this is really stupid what these guys are doing. The problem is some are buying into it. Brian, you're not going to believe me, and by the way, I'm more of a Miami Dolphins fan than a Giants fan, but I haven't watched NFL football in 2 seasons.
Wow.
I won't watch it.
I get so many people
NFL
saying
ticket.
that.
I mean, 2 seasons. And the reason I'm not watching it isn't because I don't miss it, because I do. Isn't because I don't love it, because I love it. I'm not watching it because they're telling me before they ever kick the ball off, I don't care what you think. I don't care what your sensibilities are, and I certainly don't care about your patriotism for this country that we hate. Now let's go play a game. Not going to happen until they all stand. It's that simple for me.
I can't argue with you, and I cannot tell you. I said something on Wednesday before Thanksgiving on Fox and Friends. I said, Thanksgiving's going to be great. Going to my brother's house. I can't wait to watch football. Because I'm thinking Giants, the Lions are better.
Yeah, right.
And I got so much blowback for saying I was going to watch football. Can you believe this?
Yeah.
I said I was, and I didn't even remember I said it. It just was a knee-jerk reaction since I've covered 31 Super Bowls.
Right.
It just is something I've always done and really pick up steam since. So that's where people are at. And most of the people I know and follow me are sports fans or athletes. So these are people who are sacrificing, doing other things. These deals, this is what it was explained to me. The players don't feel it. They get 55% of the revenue. They don't feel it because the deals are signed already. The sponsorship, the contracts. But when those sponsorship deals come up, when ESPN says, I don't know if I'm paying for the rights for football is too expensive. And they come back and they go, here's how small your paycheck is. It goes from 55% to 45%. This is what's going on. It's directly related to revenue. Do you want to see the books? That's when it's going to happen. Sadly, the union never leads. The union has a say in this. They needed to call up to Roger Goodell and say, listen, I'll cut a deal. Instead, they say, we're not doing it. I back my players. Roger Goodell is taking a bullet, I believe, for the union. Because if he said, hey, guys, if it was up to me, they'd stand, go yell at the players, then he loses the players. So what he's saying is, I'll take all the heat, but he doesn't really deserve all the heat. That's in my view.